AEW is the place where your career goes to die. Eric Bischoff says AEW has creative and leadership issues. Wow. So, Eric Bischoff, everybody knows who that is. You know, I'm back and I'm better than ever. One of the best intro songs ever. And just a great heel manager character who, had a lot to do with the Attitude Era as he ran WCW at the time when WCW was beating WWE in the ratings weekly. Now, fast forward to 2025, he says that this is where the careers go to die, AEW. Is he right? I think he is. Let me know in the comment section below whether you agree or disagree with one Eric Bischoff. The reason why I agree is because what have we seen from AEW? We haven't seen much. I mean, listen, you had that one Marilyn Monroe character who did all right. I saw a couple viral clips, but that was it. Like, then it just went bad, and then I think she changed her character, and then she went back to it. Like, unless maybe she's trying for something like a Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind kind of gimmick, where she just has different personalities. I mean, okay, it could work, sure, but what else has AEW offered up? We're going to talk about MJF still? We're really going to keep talking about MJF? MJF has not done enough in this industry. He came out hot. He came out, new kid on the block. Everyone talking about him. And he had all this hype behind him. But what's happened since? I remember, wasn't that like years ago? Wasn't that like 5 years ago or so? People were talking like that about MJF. And I feel like he's still in that spot now. Nobody thinks of MJF as... nobody's, like, dying to see MJF in WWE, for one. And two, nobody is talking about MJF. Like, if you're a WWE guy, like, there are people that will just go their whole life being a WWE guy not hearing who MJF is. You get what I'm saying? MJF has not reached a level where he's undeniable. In my opinion, he kind of cheapened himself with the cursing and he very much almost like he's overdoing it, like he's overplaying his hand as a heel, and I haven't seen much. He's like an edgelord, like I'm trying to be super edgy here. That's what I've seen. I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see how AEW, like, what's the point of AEW at this point? Like, are people really still thinking that they're competing with WWE? They're not. They're competing to stay afloat. They're just trying to, keep their heads above water. Whereas WWE is competing in the ratings for the NFL, NBA, the UFC, big name brands. That's who the WWE wants to compete with in the ratings. They don't care about AEW. AEW is a fly to them. This is not the 90s. This is not WCW. And that's another thing too. That's what a lot of these guys, these new promotions that come up, the AEWs of the world, that's what they try to do. That's what they try to frame themselves as, we're going to bring back the Monday Night Wars. No, you're not, bro. No, you're not. And you haven't. And you've been out for a while. There's been no real major signings. Like, Edge was a big deal for sure, but then look at what happened with that. He jumps off a weird cage. I don't care what anybody says. If you look at AEW's cage and you look at WWE's cage, literally, like, just go look at a WWE cage match and then look at the cage match that Edge had in AEW, and you cannot tell me that the cage doesn't look really different. The cage looks different. It's like a different... it's just weird, but, and I think that's why Edge kind of had that weird jump off and broke his leg, to be honest. It wasn't natural to him, because Edge has been at high heights before, just jumping off top of ladders and stuff. Like, for Edge to get up to a high place and for him to be all weirded out, it had to have been a different perspective than he was used to. And I think from the eye test, if you look at those cages, it's just a different cage. And when Edge got up there, he's like, "Oh, this a different kind of angle than I'm used to. I'm not used to jumping off this type of angle here." And that's why it was an awkward fall, and he ended up breaking his leg because of it. And that's the thing, bro. Like, nothing AEW has done has turned into gold. Nothing. They're trying this thing with Ricochet right now. We're going to see how that works. But I don't know. Maybe the answer is, this might sound crazy, but maybe the answer is to get Samantha Irvin up there and get Samantha Irvin just being a manager the way she wanted to be in WWE. Give her that opportunity. Let her manage Ricochet. Let her manage whoever she got to manage, whatever. And, yeah, bro, I think she could be someone who's on I mean, she has the look. She's probably better looking than anybody else who's on the show. Like, and you could say that for WWE. Like, Samantha Irvin's that damn good looking that you put her on screen, boom. Good job. Now, from there, you have the fact that a lot of fans don't like her. You have the fact that a lot of fans, hate on her. They're in her comment section. They're in Ricochet's comment section. They hate on her. And, what drives revenue? Love and hate. You gotta elicit a response from the audience, and I think Samantha Irvin elicits that response. And I think you could have Samantha Irvin be Ricochet's manager, be somebody's manager or something, or I don't think you put her in the ring and you make her wrestle, but you let her be maybe a commentator. Maybe you give her a commentator gig, and maybe she starts talking crazy or whatever, and maybe she starts calling herself the best of all time. Because that's what made me go bad on Samantha Irvin once upon a time. Once upon a time, Samantha Irvin messed up the Cody Rhodes is the champion call. She was like, and the new... And that's how she called it, because she was very emotional and her voice cracked and everything like that. And it wasn't a proper, and the new WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, that sounded like the other guy, but you get my point. It wasn't an official call. Even if she called it how she calls it, just, you're supposed to hold it together. You're not supposed to be emotional. You're supposed to, get the call off and not be brought down because your voice is cracking because you're crying. I get that you're a fan. I get that this is a huge moment, but right now you're the announcer and you got to be locked in on being the announcer, So, with that said, that was my one criticism of her. My one criticism was, bro, you're calling her the GOAT. She hasn't even been here 5 years, and you're calling her the GOAT. And with that said, she, she botched the WrestleMania thing. Like, we got to give her time before you just erase people's legacy. You talking about Howard Finkel. You talking about Lillian Garcia. You talking about the guy who I just did an impression of. The SmackDown dude, Tony Chimmel. There's other people out there, who put in work in this business, all for you to just say because this woman is really attractive and hot, oh, she's the GOAT. Like, that's messed up. You can't do that. You can't just simp out and be like, she's the GOAT just because she's beautiful. It don't work like that. And, yeah, so maybe that's what they need to do, give her an opportunity, because right now she's got a lot of stuff going on, but I don't know, man. AEW is just there. It exists, but nobody knows that it exists other than, just that they do exist. Like, nobody knows what they're up to because nobody watches. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody cares. We just know that they're doing that thing over there while we all enjoy cinema and just great storytelling and, top level pro wrestling, like pro wrestling done at the highest production value, at the highest level. WWE is the highest level, the pinnacle of the pro wrestling industry. It just is. And why would I watch an inferior product? You know what I mean? That's just my take. Something needs to pull me. They need to get someone like a Goldberg. They need to get someone like, remember, WCW. You got to remember what made WCW big, You got to get a big free agent signing, too. Like, maybe like a Becky Lynch. You got to get, like, a big free agent signing. A big fish. You can't just keep doing what you're doing. MJF ain't, driving the bus for you guys. You got to get someone. Edge ain't it. Paige ain't it. None of these people are it. But I'm running out of time. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Whether you agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. Just join the discussion. Follow for more and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.